I got lost along the way. I abandoned the things that mattered and traded them for wealth and statues. I lusted for power and I hurt people, but I was forced to face myself, to lose everything, to fall on my face in front of the world, and the lessons I learned on the way up were just as valuable as the ones on the way down. I know that this time I will use everything I have learned to do something that matters.
Staves, whatever happened to the people from Molly's game?
Nobody knows. Nobody knows.
Live from the Gardens Casino in Los Angeles, it's Poker Night Live, featuring the players of Molly's Game, with industry powerhouse attorney Jon Moonves, media mogul Irv Gotti, author screenwriter Andy Bellin, real estate and hedge fund guru Reagan Silber, the actual dealer of Molly's Game Manny Lopez, and your host Joe Stapleton.
Thank you, Tiffany Michelle. Hello, my babies, and welcome to Poker Night Live Hollywood Home Game. Tonight, we've got the gang from Molly's Game.
Yes.
These folks here were all a part of the legendary Nosebleed games you may have read about in Molly's book, but let's be honest, you probably watched the movie. In fact, we'll be really honest, you probably pirated it too. Speaking of pirates, my first mate, Jesse Abramowitz, does the commentary. Wish me luck, Jesse.
I wish each of you the same amount of luck.
Jesse can see the whole cards. You at home can hear him. We here cannot, and that's why that's always so awkward. We spun a really big fake wheel before the show, and this week it turns out we're playing No Limit Texas Hold'em. The blinds are 5-5. Guys, by the way, that's $5, okay, not $5,000. The big blind is just $5. You know, the ones with Lincoln that you stuff your pillows with?
Okay.
Are you all going to be able to handle that?
I still want it. I'm
Chips is chips, yeah.
Chips is chips. All right, let's do it. Let's go.
Okay, action's on me.
You've been champing at the bit.
I will raise $15.
Okay, there it is.
Wait, then that would be a $20 bet.
I'm gonna.
Yes.
Wow, look at that. Manny, can we get a ruling, please?
You're absolutely right. Should I
No, we're good.
nickel?
Please don't.
I call.
All right.
Manny, I don't think I've ever played poker with you.
Never.
Yeah, me neither. I've never.
It's a first.
Looks like we're going to go 5 ways here to the first flop.
But never played with him.
very much how you don't know. You guys don't know how I play.
Exactly.
That's true. Manny's got an advantage.
Top 2 for
I
Manny.
do know how everybody else plays in this table, except for you, Joe. But
I play bad. That's all you need to know.
That's 45.
Irv.
That's a call.
Irv likes the red chips, man.
That's a call.
I feel like this could be the best actual game.
I'm gonna race.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, Manny.
I can't. The over/under on
Gonna
chips
make
first
in this game
hand,
will be
yo.
60 grand.
We've
How
got
long
the
have you been
case
waiting to
king
do
here
that,
on the
by the
flop,
way?
and look at the
Manny,
action.
geez, these guys.
years.
Guys, I'm going to be honest.
I'm gonna raise $45.
I'm going to be honest, guys.
There you go.
In my experience, dealers are usually donkeys.
Oh, for sure.
Oh,
The
really?
Worst players.
players,
For sure.
Action junkies. Can't keep
For sure, the
together.
worst players.
Oh, look at you.
Gotti makes a pretty good fold there for the price he was getting.
Ace king in the muck, guys. Ace king in the muck.
Yeah, right. Good fold, bro. Good fold, bro.
So in the book and the movies, it's all the.
Bid 50.
Tell Joe there's a big hand going on.
It's in the book and the movie. It's $10,000 as the famous line. Bring $10,000. But obviously, people were in for much more than that. What were the actual blinds in the game?
I think there were 100, 200, and then like crazy.
Got
people would
crazy.
straddle and stuff.
But people would be all in on the first hand.
Yeah,
regularly.
the buy-in was sort of nominal.
And it would go up.
And ridiculous.
Did we see a showdown?
It would go up. It would
No,
start 100, 200, but
I looked at his hand.
a lot of games that I played, it ended up
Keep 5 of
400,
diamonds.
800.
2 top pair with a.
So like
Diamond
we would be playing, and like the tighter players at the table, me and Moonves, for example, would
I
be
had a
playing,
decent king.
or Reagan, and we would double
Good
up,
bet.
triple
If I
up.
was
I
gonna
would
play, I'd
have
probably go all the way.
30
behind.
grand in chips in front of me, and I would look around the table, and I would be the short stack because everybody who I felt it would rebuy for 100 grand, and then you'd be dead.
Yeah.
And so at that point, was it intimidating?
Oh, yes.
Did you almost wish you hadn't won that amount?
No, but
Nothing's intimidating for Andy Bellin.
oh yes.
Okay.
Let's go with that.
Sounds like quite the reputation.
I raise. Sorry.
You just had to stay on your P's and Q's. Because you 9 times out of 10, someone you was covered.
And there was also guys who enjoyed watching you be uncomfortable.
Right.
There were just guys there who were just not human.
Yeah, they would chase me. They would absolutely chase me down.
Irv, I haven't played poker with you in so long. I'm so happy.
So there's people in the game that the money mattered to a little bit more, and the people that had the money just really liked torturing the rest.
Yeah, and there were just guys who thrived off of other people being uncomfortable and just sort of
Right.
really enjoyed it.
Right.
And they were fun to play with, but
That's what I feel like in this game sometimes. I'm like, I fold, guys. You guys have a good time. I'm gonna lock up my $20 profit. Thanks.
Yeah, I agree with that. The locking up of the profits.
yes,
Yeah.
Irv likes to talk a lot at a poker table, so people think he's loose, but he's the knit. He's the tightest guy.
Yeah, I actually.
Dude, it's true. It's true.
Bellin, I actually said that.
He admitted
You
it.
did? Okay.
I said I would never get invited back, but I was like cool and was cool with everybody.
Yeah.
Said, let the Nick come. Let the Nick.
But it took a while for people to realize just because you were talking, you weren't actually in the game. Like, you weren't playing that hand. I will check.
But I think it's a true skill of poker to not care about the money. I think it's a big advantage if you combine that with some good play as well.
But John, don't you believe in Molly's game, certainly by the end, there was nobody that didn't care about the money. It was too big.
I cared.
Everybody ended up caring.
Except for Brad Ruderman.
The people that were
Whose money, it was actually their money.
Quite his money.
If it was your money, you cared.
Bad Brad.
Bad Brad.
Bad
So here on the turn,
Gonna
Lopez still on a
translate
flush
for
draw,
the
steps
people
with the
who
middle pair.
weren't actually there some of the time.
Middle pair.
But there were people in the
Still
game
good.
that wouldn't care about dropping significant 6 figures. They were okay with it. And that was an advantage versus the person that was hoping to, win 75 grand or lose 75 grand. If the other guy didn't care, he had an advantage. He had
I was less intimidated by the guys who had the incredibly deep stacks and more intimidated by the guys like, for example, Scum, who...
Rick Solomon.
Rick Solomon, yeah.
Scum is Rick
If anybody ever saw the
Solomon.
movie Monsters, Inc., like the whole monster world was fueled by children screaming. Like, that's what fueled Rick. He just, he wanted to make you uncomfortable, and he loved it. He loved every second of it.
Yeah.
And he was the toughest guy to play in the world.
Yeah, you don't know what he had. Ever.
Was he only tough against people who sort of could handle it? Because I did a show with him a while ago.
Raise.
And I can't really say
Yeah.
what
60.
happened, but I saw him be incredibly generous to somebody who
He's a great guy.
was an
No, Rick
amateur.
is a great
Rick is
guy.
a great
okay.
guy.
He's a great guy. This guy's like, you know what I'm saying? He's a
Just
good guy.
because you're a gambler doesn't mean you're a
Right.
bad guy.
And Rick was a
Irv coming along.
monster in terms of
I'm supposed to.
being able to play crazy and not be afraid to lose, but he also had
There was a method
he had
to his
skill.
madness, too.
He had skill too. He knew how to extract when he had the hand.
He also got good fast.
Yeah.
There was a point where we all went down to Hawaii to play.
100.
And he wanted to play head up with me.
This is
and
the
for,
first all you
$5
can
grand.
eat?
Oh, look at this.
Is this the first all you can eat?
There it
I
is.
believe this is the first all you can eat.
I knew it was gonna be a problem getting these guys to play 5-5.
Chips.
Oh, Mr. Gotti. There you are.
Bluff, no bluff. Come on,
that's
no
huge.
bluff. You know I don't bluff.
Huge.
He had it going
I'm
a lot of
ready to
different
dance.
ways.
I'm ready to dance. I love these red chips.
You got a lot of them now.
Chips are, as John said earlier, chips are chips. It feels good to stack them no matter what they're worth.
Absolutely.
So what was up with this heads-up match in Hawaii?
So it was like I was so far ahead of Scum at that point that when he was asking to play head up for $5,000, he was just trying to learn, and I felt I was so much better than he was. I wouldn't do it. I felt bad. And cut to 3 months later, he's one of the most dangerous live game players on planet Earth.
So he was paying you for poker lessons, really?
I never did. Maybe I did it once or twice, but he became
20.
monstrous.
I got to give my scum story.
Please.
Okay, I have a very good scum story.
We're going to break after this hand. Can you get it in?
We'll wait after the break.
Okay.
We'll wait after the break, but it's a great scum story.
Oh,
First of all,
I
how
saw
great
those.
is
You
the
should
name
show them to
Scum?
And by the way, he's
I
quite
saw
okay
those,
with
so-
the nickname.
What? Yeah, of course he is. But how great is that? Hey, Scum, what's up?
Yeah.
Is it great?
You got to own it. You got to take ownership of a name like that.
His voice
40.
matches it too.
That laugh, too.
The whole aura, it just goes together.
So Moonves continues. Silber top pair will call.
There's a great story in the book about him immediately asking Ben Affleck about J-Lo's butt. The second
Oh,
Ben
oh,
showed up.
he did.
Yeah.
For sure.
100.
Remember that?
For sure.
Oh, yes, I did. I do remember that. Yeah.
And it was like this
It
record
made
scratching.
everybody uncomfortable on the table.
Yeah.
And he kept looking at Ben out, like waiting for an answer. Like, are you gonna give me an answer or not? And everybody was just very uncomfortable with that. You know, it just-
So Ben has a tell. Hey, if this were the real Molly's game, somebody would already be in for like 50 grand. Do you know how many commercial slots we have to sell to make 50 grand? 50,000. And the first one is coming up now. Back after this.
Poker Night Live is brought to you by our trusted friend, Kimosabi Mezcal. Why settle for tequila? Step up to Kimosabi.
I started playing in the what's now become known as Molly's game from the very beginning. We used to play a casual game at Toby's house in his den, sitting around the table, and we decided to get a little more serious about it, and Toby organized the game at the Viper Room, and I got what became famous from the movie email saying, bring a wad of $10,000 and show up at this time in this place at the Viper Room. And it was the same group with a few more players, and it was still a fun game. Guys I like to be hanging out with generally. And it was something I look forward to every week.
One of the biggest. One of the biggest all time.
Welcome back to Poker Night Live with the real-life Molly's Game players here at the Gardens Casino in Los Angeles tonight, where we are joined by a guy who's becoming a better pinch hitter than Letty Harris. I don't do sports. I had to Google that. Saving us once again from a Nick Cassavetes last-minute cancellation is Jon Moonves. And the great thing about having Jon on the show is that we know the network will always approve you. There is no shot they're going to say that you can't be on the show. All right, action on me.
I get it.
I don't.
You fold it?
Yes, does somebody want to explain it to
Easy,
Andy?
Irv. Come on, it's
Let's
friendly.
raise it up.
Come on.
Raise it up. A little sweetener.
Last time Jon was on the show, we didn't know we were going to do a Molly's Game night, so we tried to...
We made 20?
Uh-oh. I'm going to wait till after this hand to tell the story, actually.
Looks like we're going to go three ways to the flop here. Gotti, Lopez, and
You guys
Moonves.
are players.
Yeah.
We've played a few
That's
times.
why you invited us.
Right.
Yeah.
Good point.
Do I have...
That's Russian nuts. It looks like Russian nuts right
What is
there.
the Russian nuts, by the way?
I have to bet.
It's now become any pair and a flush draw.
I have
It used
to
be
bet.
top pair, nut flush draw.
Come on, call.
It's one of the few
Oh,
hands
you're
I don't
so
mind
much
getting it in
trouble.
with, a pair of flush draws. So
See, you might have a Russian
I
heritage and
think
don't know it.
must.
Oh,
I
you're
do
so
enjoy
much
vodka.
spread-
Yeah.
spread your cards.
May have
Even
lost
after
graphics
red?
for a
I
second,
thought-
but don't
Both of you
sweat it.
guys
We
called?
did see
Yeah.
that King 5 is suited.
Stone
King 5
dead.
suited did hit a flush draw.
I'm
sure you're being
stone
told.
Dead. I checked.
If everyone at the table claims to be a
wanna
nit,
bet.
you can't all have the nuts all the time.
75.
Just because we play
Moonves
every
plays
hand.
nothing but the nuts. Remember when he was complaining that he couldn't win a hand? Look, he's about to get felted. I hope Manny felts him.
Manny's gonna take him. He's turning
Manny's a
pale.
dealer. He's definitely on the
John's pale.
flush draw. And he got there.
Sometimes the card reader
that's
does pick
interesting
up
card.
the
That's good.
wrong cards, but we do believe someone has the nut flush here.
No, just.
Oh, you got counterfeited.
John.
You got
Yeah, you get
counterfeited.
Send me the money.
And I got psyched out as well. Looks like
It's
Moonves
fitting that you won
did
this
have
hand.
3 aces.
Hammer him on the turn.
Nah. I wanted to keep him in.
3 aces.
I think you played it great.
Jack and an eye.
How'd you do? How'd you do?
Not good. Not
You
good.
can't stop. Look, he's never folding. He saved himself money. So when John was on the show the first time, we didn't know that we were going to have a Molly's Game night. So I was trying to tee John up for his Molly's Game story when his friend, John Landau, Academy Award winner John Landau, decided to steal that moment from him and tell John's story. And I'm also going to steal the moment from him now. Rather than let him tell it, I'm going to roll the clip from last time.
I bet I know this story.
You know, speaking of stakes, though, John, you know, I think you might be the one person in this room who's played in Molly's Game.
Thank you for doing my job for me while I'm involved in this hand. No, I'm not being sarcastic at all. I want to hear about this for sure.
My favorite story, though,
You betting 100?
is
That's 100.
When the book came out, John was like, I hope I'm not in the book. I hope I'm not in the book. I hope I'm not in the book. He read the book. He's not in the book. He goes, I'm disappointed I'm not in the book.
So if you
he's still stacking.
if you had been in the book,
Arms are tired.
if you had been in the book, what story of yours? What story of yours do you think would have made the book?
You know, I was probably one of the more boring people in the game. There were celebrities, there were crazy players, then there were guys that we just liked each other and played serious poker, and I don't know that I would have had a lot of stories in the book. You know, I had some fun stories shooting a video. Andy was a consultant writer on it with Phil Hellmuth. That was some interesting stories. I won't go there because he's one of the sponsor spokesperson, but
That's okay. We take shots at Phil all the time. I saw on your graphic there that you were the executive producer on the Ultimate Blackjack Tour.
I was.
That was with Houston Curtis, who also plays a big part of the book in the movie.
The sixes is good by me.
Sixes win. I almost optioned a poker show to Houston Curtis way back in the day. And then I read the fine print of my contract and saw that I was going to retain 1% of the ownership, and I ended up not signing it. But
Do you remember, this was up at somebody's house where Steve Brill was in one of his like fabulous, awful moods. Steve Brill being one of the funniest men ever to walk the earth. And Houston was playing perfectly as he always did. And Brill got really frustrated. He was like, you're just sitting there folding your bad cards, winning with your good cards, with a Lhasa Apso on your head. Do you remember when he said that?
Making a reference to Houston's hairstyle.
real hair.
Real hair.
It was awesome.
Yeah, there were no dogs involved.
Manny, did you ever have a run-in with Steve Brill?
Yeah, a couple, but nothing serious. He was one of those guys that even when he was mad, he couldn't take it too serious, you know?
No, but did your car have to take him seriously? Or?
Not me.
Check.
I'm sorry?
Did your car have to take him seriously?
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead. Can you please let everyone know what I'm hinting at here?
I check.
No, you don't want to.
No.
All right. I tried, everybody. I
By the way,
tried.
Steve Brill, American actor and film producer, directed Heavyweights and Mr.
Anybody else want to tell the story?
Andy, please.
No.
Never. Although Steve won't watch this, but no, I would.
But his lawyers might.
I want to know the story.
Check.
I'll tell you offline. I check.
I know you would tell it. During the interview,
75.
Irv's like, are you sure you want to be honest? And we were like, yup. And then Irv did his interview. We're like, okay, less honesty. Just a little bit less.
If I had an ace, I would call you.
They say it's good for the game.
Oh, look at you.
It is good for the game.
Well, I had
A little
to.
$60 bluff there at the end.
75. I got outplayed.
75.
You got to know what a man's pressure point is.
Exactly.
75.
After all, it was Andy's fault I got involved in this in the first place.
Is that true? Did I?
Yeah, Edge TV. And then we went and pitched Toby. And then from there, we started playing up at my house. And then from there, it went to Toby's and on and on and on. But it was you that pitched Keith Richmond and Charles Katz.
By the way, you'll learn, Reagan, all things poker ultimately start with Andy Bellin.
Well, they actually start with Poker Nation.
Absolutely true.
Call.
It's amazing that I was vanguard of the poker idiots, and then now
And you are.
I am.
But you're also good at networking people that you know who will like each other, and it's
A matchmaker.
It's yeah. I'm
Stapes will close the action here with Ace King.
Turned into royalty in the book somehow.
Somehow
Portrayed very positively in the book.
You know, it's
Good things happen to good people.
yeah. Poker
As it
karma.
stands, 2 7s, the best hand.
50. Okay.
2 in a row.
Two in a row.
Just that
Easy
easy.
game.
So Silber takes
What'd you
down
guys
another
think?
one.
You're playing the right way.
What'd you guys think about the casting in the movie?
I like the person who played Molly.
Yeah.
That actress.
Jessica
Jessica
Chastain, yes.
Chastain, she was amazing.
Most males
she was
enjoy
good,
Jessica
right?
Chastain.
She was
I was gonna
amazing.
say that's no reach, but
His thing.
What'd you say?
I like
Nothing?
that
it's
cast.
no reach.
Oh, right. Oh, I thought you were saying it was
it's a
no
bold
reach for.
statement.
Yeah. Not exactly a hot take to like Jessica Chastain.
Gotti's going to bump this up to
Oh.
15 with Jack 9. Andy calls behind.
I'm going to call because I get to act first on every street.
That's the most desirable position, acting first.
Best position.
And it looks
for you
like
to watch
Stapes
as
is
well.
definitely going to be getting there too with Queen 9 suited. So 3
This is the first
suited
chance to
hands
bluff.
to the flop, 4 total.
Fold.
What? Well, that can't be good.
No, it cannot.
No, this
I was
can't be
playing the
good.
board.
No.
Let's go.
Now I'm in trouble.
Let's go.
Do you have a good hander?
Check.
Action card here on the turn brings the diamond draw and makes 2 pair for Gotti.
I just might
Stapes
have a good
has a
hand.
pair and a straight draw.
I'm gonna bet.
Okay.
I'm gonna put a little bet out there. Say $60.
I'm gonna call.
You have a
Well,
good
I'm also going to call.
One of my favorite memories from Molly's game was the food. There was always excellent
it was like,
and a wide variety of food. Whatever you wanted was there. It was
That was not
eating.
Irv's favorite memory
Check.
of Molly's game.
So we're talking like what? Domino's, Papa John's?
Can't really have helped.
that helped me.
It did?
Yeah.
All right, I'll check.
No, it
6,
didn't help me at
7,
all.
come
I
on.
had to
That's
flush
no
it.
good. I got 2 pair.
Yeah, I know.
Bingo, baby.
Gotti turns over 2 pair, which is the best
Everyone
hand.
else showed. I don't need to. I had a couple of draws.
Take it down. Take it down.
Question is, why
Well,
did
Irv rakes in these chips.
Irv check?
These
okay.
massive
Well,
chips.
We have to take another break, during which time I'm going to see if Jon Moonves can get me a date with one of the Vine stars he represents. Seriously, I would even settle for just 6 seconds. It's fine. That's all I'll need. Back after this.
How would you like to play against the pros on national TV? Download now to play and win. It's absolutely free to play.
The first time I met Molly is through Phil Ivey, actually, and she had her game at the Viper Room. And I tagged along with Phil. If Molly was coming here, I'd give her a big hug. You know what I'm saying? Like, Molly, I consider Molly a great friend. LA was good. LA was calm. LA was Hollywood. New York was real. New York, now she's running the game and people see her making money. She had to deal with the element. She had to deal with wise guys, because if you run in the game, you can't really go to the police. You understand?
Welcome back, my babies, to Poker Night Live Hollywood home game from the Gardens Casino here in LA. Just in case you folks at home occasionally hear some commentary, let me explain. That voice belongs to Jesse Abramowitz. We can't see the whole cards. Jesse can. We can't hear Jesse. You can. It's very simple. Check it out. Jesse, say something about Jessica Chastain.
Her performance in Molly's game was interstellar.
Turns out everyone here is mostly Idris Elba fans. No stringer bets. Am I right? Does anyone at the table get that joke? Nope.
Stringer bell. Yeah, I got it.
Oh, wait. All right. Hey, I lost the bet. I had the under on that. All right, now we can keep playing.
Come on, let's play. I'm up.
Do you mean you have to go now?
Yeah, you're gonna book your win, man. Go home.
I'm gonna book a $500 win. If I get a $500, yo.
Irv, you got real excited when we mentioned your TV show Tales just then.
Yes.
The graphics.
I love Tales. Tales is my baby, I call it.
What is it?
It's a TV series I created where I take hip hop songs and through the inspiration of the songs, I create like a 1 to 2 hour mini movie, so to speak.
What songs have you done?
I have done NWA, F the Police, I have done Biggie Smalls.
What is F the Police?
I have done Biggie Smalls, Story to Tell. I have done Meth and Mary, You're All I Need. I have done The Roots, Baby You Got Me. I have done Slick Rick, A Children's Story. I have done...
How many years has this show been on?
It's been one. I did 8 episodes the first season, and I'm starting to produce the second season, which will be airing on BET Network's probably top of the year, 2008.
And somehow I heard that Nick Cassavetes actually showed up for your TV show, unlike this one.
Yeah, unlike this. Nick Cassavetes, the first episode I did, which I directed, I did NWA F the Police, which we all know is police brutality. So I did reverse, where I had black cops brutalizing white people.
I saw a clip of it. It's brutal.
Right, and Nick Cassavetes, my dearest friend.
He's the guy on the ground getting kicked.
He played Rodney King, like the reverse Rodney King. And I could just tell you, he got into it so much. I love this guy. He had the dirt, put it on his face, and he told the cops, like, yo, really beat him.
Thank you.
I was like, Nick, it ain't, I don't want you getting...
It's not method.
He says, nah, it's got to be real, so...
I'm putting you on Queens.
You was in the hand.
You're so far. I have nothing. King high.
Good. Thank you.
Valiant effort there by Stapes, but Bellin does pick it off the top pair.
Good call.
That's Bellin. He's a pro.
I always.
By the way, just look up Irv Gotti. He's written
every 2
and
years, but I
produced
do it around somebody that's never played with me before.
every famous song you've heard of.
Right. He's a pro.
No, I've become a catastrophist. I just assume everybody has the nuts. That's it. It's just awful.
You just assume you beat every time.
Every time.
I still use that word that you came up with, as far as I can tell.
Yes,
Catastrophist.
I've made it up, yeah.
Catastrophe.
I just got catastrophisted.
Can you say that on?
Yeah, why not? There's nothing wrong with the word catastrophe.
Right.
And all of its conjugations.
It's weird stacking chips. I haven't done this in so long.
Oh boy.
Nobody's rebought yet. That's no fun.
Oh, I'm getting close.
That's no fun.
Nothing I like more than losing poker to a bunch of rich guys.
Is it me?
Listen, it's a couple of rules of thumb here. Dealers are donkeys, and the host always loses.
That's true. I won the first week, and I was like, I'm going to make a lot of money on this show.
And the host always loses for whatever reason.
So we have no shot now.
If Nick and Bobby had come, there would be $50,000 on the table.
Yeah.
Easy. I mean, I literally flew across the country to see Bobby Safai play 5-5. Just to see it happen, just to see his head explode. That's all I wanted to see.
He was originally in, but eventually...
Bobby Safai playing these states.
It's impossible.
Would be impossible.
Literally impossible.
Dude, I love that man. I played dice with him in Vegas, and we were getting slaughtered. And it was like 15 minutes of the coldest crap table ever, and we were on different sides, and I walked away, and he was like, how'd you do? I was like, I got murdered, man. I lost like $2,000-$3,000. He was like, yeah, me too. I was like, how'd you do? He's like, $250,000. Without a blink, nothing.
That's it.
He's like, you want to get Chinese? You want to get a
Lost in the quarter. You want to grab some Chinese?
I love a nice guy.
Stapes a little unlucky here to get outflopped by King Deuce.
Didn't affect his mood.
Nope, I was a good guy.
Which makes him tough to play poker against.
Is this a sarcasm or this is real?
No.
No, Bobby's
It's
a
gonna be
great guy.
sarcasm. It's gotta be.
No, I mean,
60.
The beauty of Bobby Safai and guys like you just don't know what they have.
He's a nice guy. I would say.
Moonves does
After
river
he's a
two
nice
pair and
guy.
bets. Stapes gets away from it.
Now, while playing poker, he's not.
I never had to deal the cards.
Well, it was always
And you
worse.
river him on
That's
a $1 million pot.
Yeah, right.
Was he involved in your $1 million pot?
Yeah. I like Gore's house. Yeah, he was.
So
Yeah. No, just like before the flop. After the flop, he went out, but he was there that night. Yeah.
and
how many seven-figure pots have you dealt?
Several.
Yeah.
No, okay, it's not that uncommon.
No, it's probably 3 or 4 a night.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
3 or 4 hands a night. Yeah.
Listen, by the end of the night, it's ridiculous. Guys are sitting with $1 million.
How about 8 figures? Have you got anything over 10 million?
No, I mean on the pot, on the table, yeah, for sure. But not in one hand, like not in one pot. Yeah.
I remember the first time that at one of our games where there was $1 million on the table, we were all just like, I remember you and I turning white. Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we be here?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not just the first buy-in. Like the games that they would
30.
That's the second buy-in was
They
75.
didn't get serious until they was in for 500, 600,000. Then they like focused.
And this is starting with a 10K buy-in.
Yeah.
We did start with a 10K buy-in.
It was a 10K buy-in, but that 10K was a joke.
Yeah, it was in a matter of like.
Like
everyone was just
Everybody had rebuy, you know,
I learned that
$100,000,
Get him
$50,000.
stacking chips again.
I learned that very quickly. Now, when you my background comes from the professional poker world.
Wow, you're a pro poker player. You didn't tell us that.
No, I've been on poker media.
What are you saying now? This guy's a pro.
What was
No,
where did it
I'm
come
not-
from?
I'm not
You can't
fooling
spring
anyone.
that in the middle of the game.
Yeah, he's like, so I'm a pro.
Professional poker player.
All right, I'm going to explain myself in a second. There may not be an East Coast, West Coast Molly's Game rivalry, but there is a healthy rivalry between the host of this show, me, and the host of our live stream show, Tiffany Michelle. So, Tiffany, what's happening with your poker games this week?
Well, Joe, in an attempt to one-up you, I'm hosting 2 live stream games this week, 7-handed, with 4 hours of
poker media.
uncensored poker playing, so take that. Viewers can watch the live action on Thursday and Friday at 5 Pacific on twitch.tv/PokerNightTV and visit gardenspokernight.com for more information. We're coming back to this game right after this.
Yeah. Playing through the...
How would you like to play against the pros on national TV? Download now to play and win. It's absolutely free to play.
I was an early adopter, we would say, in the poker world of Los Angeles. The game started actually at my house in probably about '02 with a $5,000 buy-in. People enjoyed playing what at that time was high-stakes poker. And a guy could lose, if you played every hand and you were terrible, you'd lose $15,000. And the games got a little bigger. Along that time, the game went from my house to Toby's house, from Toby's house to the Viper Room, from the Viper Room to the Four Seasons, and from the Four Seasons on to New York. You put money, power, celebrity, girls, all in one room, exciting things are gonna happen.
Welcome back to welcome back to the Gardens Casino.
Somebody needed to tell the truth.
We've
told the whole truth.
We've got one of those things in this room, I think. This is Poker Night Live Hollywood Home Game featuring the real-life gang from Molly's Game. I am Joe Stapleton, and the closest I've ever come to playing the nosebleeds is when I go digging for gold while playing 1-2. That's right. Yeah. You guys are very rich, but I've got the real gold up here. We've got a hand developing here. It's been raised to 75. Call over here for Manny. I'm going to fold.
Man, forget all of that. 342 in winnings. I have never cashed the main event.
In the main,
I have given away at least $150,000.
You've really played every year. 15
every year,
times.
and I cannot book one cash. And
Should be an action flop here. 2 hearts for Lopez. God, he's going to believe his 10s are still good, which they are.
Is the cash king, and he cashes every time. You check?
But I can't make it this year. You're gonna have to take my. You're gonna have to this year if you go.
If you want to give away 10K, I
I'll
will
buy
surely.
PCU this year.
Do you want to take a piece of Herb's action?
I'll put her, man. I gotta pick my daughter up at camp on day 3, and since I know we'll be there, Irv's taking my spot.
What a dad, everybody, huh?
There
What
we
a dad. Can we get a where's dad camp?
Parenting before poker.
All right, how about this for son? I'm going to the World Series senior event this Friday, taking my dad, 97-year-old dad, to play in the World Series of Poker.
Then I got you.
For sure.
Me and my sister taking my dad. Should be fun.
That's
How do you like his chances in the seniors event?
No, he's actually a very good card
the
player. At 97, he's still sharp.
There is a super seniors, you know that, right?
There is, but it doesn't work for me.
Did you fold jacks?
No.
Then I never lie.
You
Listen.
You had me at that point, yes.
I never lie.
Both you jerks got me to fold king queen, okay? So let's,
That's tough.
See, oh, you folks
could have made some money on
How'd
that
you do?
one.
How'd you
for
do?
$75. My gosh.
How'd you do?
Pre-flop, I folded king queen. Yo, goodness no, not on the flop there.
God, look at this Irv just stacking chips.
Just stacking chips. Hey, guys, I'm almost at quota.
It's like the soda
Racks.
game.
Racks.
Bye, Irv.
You cash it when it's 500. You go home, right?
Listen, you gotta. It's
Book a
all
win.
about numbers. Book the win. Book the win.
Moonves will open the action with ace two. Stapes
I'm
calls
running
behind
hot,
with
yo.
ace four. Gotti in
Like
as well.
minimum ace queen here. Minimum.
I'm running hot. I'm running hot.
Running hot, yo.
For those playing at home, this is not how you
This is my dealer.
This
This
is
is my
not what you
dealer.
do.
Bang!
Elias is good.
Boom shakalaka.
check.
Oh, 5C the flop. Gotti flops
Check.
the best
Oh,
of it,
no,
middle
no, no,
pair and a
no,
gut
no.
shot.
No.
Oh, no.
He's running hot, yo.
I'm running hot. Play the heater,
This is-
yo.
What's the deal, yo? as
Come
people
on.
say.
Look, I want to call.
All right, I'll give you your call.
I didn't really want to call. That was
Come on, Joe.
completely like reverse psychology.
Joe Pro.
I love crap.
Joe floating here, but I don't think he's got enough
I reiterate,
behind to
not a pro.
execute
I've
this.
been in the poker media for 10 years.
What does that
Not the
mean?
same
What is
thing.
poker media?
It's kind of like, you know how Joe Buck doesn't actually play baseball?
Or football.
Or whatever it is. No, he does baseball too,
Yeah, he
right?
does.
Whatever it is, he doesn't do it.
Go easy on him, or
He talks about it.
Did he check?
I don't know if I
checked.
did, but I do check.
Did the pro check?
Pro check.
Really see who he's talking to.
Let's see the riv. Deliver.
Deliver the river. I check again.
Come on, give me the money.
You win.
Give me the money.
You
Just
win.
give me the money.
You win. You did want to call,
I
turns
want
out.
that $100. I could use those.
You know what? I'm going to
rings.
add on. I'm going to add on and start playing good.
Oh,
He's
first
reaching
time.
in.
if the pro is adding on,
I'm adding on 300.
we may all have to add on.
But the key word is I'm going to start playing good now.
I want those white chips.
So Stapes pulls
This is my
3 whites
deal.
out of his
Well,
pocket. Each of those are worth 100. So now he's back up
really
to
like
500 in his stack.
I
Yes, you did. Oh, all of you guys said.
It's one of those things that
I tried to tip Manny well just to help make up for all the abuse he took from the
I
other
did.
players.
Come on, we all
I
tell
did. Manny was
Manny's
my guy, man.
yes.
I'd be like, yo, Manny's my guy. He takes all of this abuse, man.
Manny did well, but he earned it. He earned it.
Yo, and one of the best deals because he took it, really ran the game well, everything. I'm telling you. He was a good guy,
Being
man.
quiet down there,
You are
but Manny
good
saw it
guy.
all. He saw it all.
see it all, man. You could have written a book.
He could have written 2 books.
Oh, he could have wrote. Whoa, he could have definitely wrote.
Hold on.
Oh, sorry.
What chance do I have
Oh,
now?
Manny could
Moonves.
write 2 books, and they would be true and fascinating.
the final chapter would be getting his revenge on you guys tonight. To the tune of $400.
To the tune of.
Top pair,
Revenge-
top kicker for
Revenga!
Manny Lopez, the dealer of Molly's game.
400.
Gut shot for Bellin.
Nope.
I'm just impressed Reagan Silber knows what $40 is.
He doesn't really. He
Yeah.
thought he was betting 40 grand.
What is this, a loaf of bread and a gallon of milk?
Well, gonna have to work a little on this hand.
Check.
I'll check.
No checking here.
No check-in.
There's no checking.
$80.
8 is a great card here for Silber, who had
80
absolutely
bucks.
nothing.
American
And
dollars.
this should serve as quite the scare card.
For Manny.
I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what you're going to do. I want to call.
You're gonna call?
Not
Of
worried about
course,
Reagan.
he's a dealer. He's calling, yo.
Manny
Put him
not
out again.
deterred.
He's got the straight to the 6. He's got the 6 high straight. He's going nowhere.
Not the card I wanted.
top 2 for Manny. He's going to lead out here. It's kind of like a blocker bet. We'll see what Silber's going to do. He wants to stick with the story. He'd have to shove it all in, but he's going to fold.
Manny's game.
Manny.
Ace-10 and you let out?
That's a winner.
It's not a winner. You're supposed to hammer him right there.
I thought it was a break bet. I thought it was a break bet.
Played it perfectly.
I tear up my 6 there for sure.
Turns 2 pairs
Dealers
to a
are
bluff.
also the best tippers.
He
so
was
you should
begging
absolutely
for a call.
want Manny to win every hand. Reminds me of my guy ATM.
God, I remember that guy.
Yeah, he's a little Indian kid, and he's the worst player in the history of worst players. The guy
But the greatest tipper.
He deals just to pay his debts, his poker debts.
God, I remember that guy.
He's hilarious. Love ATM. Question.
Yes, sir.
Did Molly's Game do well enough at the box office for Hollywood to have still an appetite for poker movies, in your opinion?
In my opinion, I think it did very well at the box office, but I wouldn't, it's a weird thing to say, but I don't consider it a poker movie. But I'll consider
it
this,
wasn't Rounders, but the meat and potatoes of the movie was her in the poker world.
Yeah, I don't think there is ever going to be another Rounders.
Right.
I mean, unless Brian and David did Rounders too, but like, I don't think there will ever be because of the advent of live poker.
Right.
Everything that you put on the screen feels like a pale facsimile of the actual game, so it just feels unsatisfying.
Right.
And Rounders will go down as the only great poker movie of all time.
I agree.
And
it was way ahead of its time. If Rounders came out now, would it box office?
I wonder that. I play with Brian a lot, and I will ask
Brian
it's
Koppelman,
interesting.
creator
I
of
wonder
Billions.
If the reality television aspect of it ruined it. And I wonder about
If reality ruined fantasy?
Yes.
Oh, man, if you guys prefer fantasy, have I got the plug for you coming up right now. We have to step away once again, but first a reminder that weekdays at noon Eastern, Jim Rome welcomes you to the jungle. For 3 hours of hot takes, high-impact interviews, and a steady dose of the clones, it's the Jim Rome Show on CBS Sports Network. We'll be back right after this.
Poker Night Live is brought to you by our trusted friend, Kimosabi Mezcal. Why settle for tequila? Step up to Kimosabi.
Yeah, I'm intentionally not reading the book or watching the movie. I believe there's a lot of stuff that I'm going to see and probably not like. From what I heard, it seems like I was probably the smallest part of the game, when in reality, I was the guy that ran the game. So that's probably my biggest issue with that. You know, I seriously never looked at it as being Molly's game a bad thing until it became a bad thing. It was the guys' games. It wasn't my game. It wasn't her game. It was more like we work for these guys. At the end of the day, I was the one running the game, you know? So it was a little weird, but it's all good. But that's the reason I don't want to watch the movie or read the book.
You're missing out, Manny, because Idris Elba is fantastic. Welcome back, my babies. This is Poker Night Live. I'm Joe Stapleton. We're at the Gardens Casino in Los Angeles playing low-stakes poker with 5 people who are so used to the high stakes, they're no longer susceptible to altitude sickness. 4 of the players at this table have had their ups and downs, but one of them never lost a dime in Molly's game. That is Manny Lopez over here. He was the legendary dealer of that game. Manny, we touched on it briefly moments ago, but what is the worst case of dealer abuse that you have ever experienced?
You don't have to name a player.
Exactly. You don't have to name names. You could say the event that happened.
Tell him, Manny.
Come on,
I
man.
don't have to mention names. But, okay, I got trained by Kevin Washington. I'm going to mention the names.
There you go. He said a name, everybody.
He said, Manny, if you put a bad river for me, I'm going to throw you out the window. We're at the Four Seasons Hotel.
And he's strong enough, as big as
on the
Manny is,
17th floor.
he could throw him
and
out
this
the
guy
window.
is about 6'3", 6'4".
Big guy.
Big guy. He's like, man, you put the bad river there, I swear to God, I'm going to throw you out the window. And I'm saying it very calmly. His thing was,
Manny, you put the Bad River, you're going out that window right now. And I'm going, shit, man.
Literally sounds
what
like
do I do?
Thank goodness it was a good river.
Yeah. Well, yeah, right?
Was it a good river?
It was a good river that time. And then,
so that's the
And
worst.
if you lose the volume, that's
But look,
because the
we've
sensor
seen
has
where
bleeped out a curse.
Guys would throw cards at him. Guys, they were, and Manny kept his cool.
He kept his cool the
and there
whole
was hundreds,
time.
millions of dollars. Guy, I mean,
He took the abuse like a true champion. I
I
don't
can
know.
relate.
You know, you're sitting there in the box and the guy's right there saying, "Don't blink." And they go like this to try and hit him in his eyes. And he's sitting there.
50.
And he's taking it like a champ, man. You know what I'm saying?
was that Bobby Safai?
I didn't want to say the name, but you know what?
It's amazing that we went from no names are getting mentioned to we're 2 for 2 now.
No, Bobby was legendary.
It's all good,
Not just Manny. It was any dealer. If you rivet him and he was ahead and you rivet him, he wasn't cool with any dealer that.
I mean, you guys.
The funniest thing about this is that Bobby will go crazy, and then right after the game, he will come and say, "Hey man, do you want to go downstairs and eat a sandwich with me?
Right.
You know, hang out." You know? Like, the nicest guy. But
nicest
during
guy.
Poker, he's not a guy you want to go to a backhand anyway. You know.
I've heard that about some poker players.
Yeah.
Phil Hellmuth.
Oh, he's just a crybaby.
Phil is a good man and a friend, so I don't mind saying that. But even he
will admit you don't want to play poker with him.
Correct. Phil played at Molly's game, yeah? Am I right?
No, he played at your house.
He played at my house when it first got started. It was.
He played with us a couple of times. I think he played at your house. I don't know.
Played
if
at
he
my
ever-
house.
He played at the Viper Room a few times.
Chris, remember we told the story the other week
when
about
Chris
Williams
put a beat on his
felt
son,
it his
right?
son.
Who was
Yeah,
like
Phil put his kid in.
Right.
And it was. It's not like the kid blew it, by the way.
Just FYI.
It was. Anybody would have been felted, but Chris had a monster. I think it was quads against full house. or
Quads
something.
against a full house.
Yeah.
Please tell me the kid had like a prepubescent meltdown.
Check. No, Phil did.
No, Phil did.
Really?
No, actually,
Phil did- he
Phil was classy with his kid at that point. Said you played it well. I remember that because believe me, I'm not a Phil defender. He actually handled that well.
Well, I'm a huge Phil defender. I think it's great when he does it.
Guys, nut low. Turn it up.
2, 3.
I mean, that's a
Turn it
draw.
up.
That's a pretty
So
good
that's
draw,
how you
though.
play cards.
Coming.
Come on, like
You're too good. It's coming.
This
You
is
know it's
too
coming.
easy. You know what?
You precogged it. You knew the 4 was coming.
People will often, like, before a game say they're wild and then knit up, but he came in saying that he's such a nit, and I think he's full of it.
No, he's a nit. He really is. Tell him. Look into the camera. Tell him what it is.
I am definitely a nit. I'm a tight player.
Well, you're doing all right.
And Reagan just felt at me, and it wasn't on camera.
I'm a good tight
But it
player.
is time for you to rebuy. If you
Am I
get a
allowed
good hand,
to?
you're not going to be able to do any damage to Irv.
Can I? Oh, I totally forgot. I'm allowed to rebuy. Can I rebuy?
You give
Jack 8 suited for Stapes.
you
He'll
looked at your
open the
cards.
action
Somebody
here.
wanna
We'll
wait
wait
until
till
next
next
hand.
scene.
I like this.
really?
We got the
Playing
poker
every
police right
hand.
here.
Gotti,
not?
very
I just
playable.
stole
10-8
run
suited.
hot.
I just stole a button, guys.
What does that mean?
That's half the battle.
Oh, I
He's
see.
got position on
And
the pro.
Moonves will
the
pay
battle.
10 more from the big.
I think if I were a pro, I'd know what that meant. I don't.
Joe.
Can you phone a friend?
This guy is just flopping monsters.
I finally did flop good for once. 35.
That's an insta call. I hunt pros.
Guys, I'm rebuying here.
Nice. Put them all out there. The whites are on the
Me
board.
and you?
Just us, buddy.
We've got to see if Stapes can fire a second bullet here.
What a turn. What a turn. I got a straight flush.
Wow, that's awesome.
I'm going to check a
Okay.
straight flush.
It's an unorthodox decision, but I like it.
I checked.
Stapes hits his only live out.
Give me the money.
I rivered you. Do you want to throw your cards at Elias? Because don't. I won't allow it.
And I folded ace deuce.
I won't allow it. That's the worst hand I've ever won in my life, by the way. I'm really embarrassed about that.
I had the
hand.
5 of diamonds, so I knew he didn't have the straight
Did you
flush.
lead out on the flop?
I did. But I raised pre-flop, so
That's a pro move.
Big move.
He had air let out. Pro, guys.
I thought the 10 of spades was the 10 of clubs, so I thought I had a runner flush draw. That's what I was betting, to be fair.
Missed the bet on the turn.
Yeah.
I would love to show the bluff.
When you had a straight
That's a
flush.
straddle for 15.
For 15?
That's a straddle for
We'll
15.
do a $10 straddle.
If I see
It's a $10 straddle?
If I see any paint, I'm raising it. I'm just telling you.
I'm ready to dance.
All right.
Lombada.
I can't believe one hand and you're on tilt.
The forbidden dance.
Is that where we're going?
I'm ready to do the forbidden dance.
With me?
The Lombada.
Oh, jeez.
All right, we got a hand.
Oh my God.
Take it down.
I love how many number one hits have you produced, and I river you one time, and you're like, I'm in a mood now.
I'm on tilt.
That's a good
You put me on tilt.
Untiltable.
You put me on tilt.
It's the untiltable.
That's
that
his
gets
You
me
put me
pro.
on
His
tilt.
next Ja Rule song is gonna be untiltable.
Make it 150 straight.
Aye.
Make it 150 straight. I don't know.
Get a band.
I don't know what I'm
Just
doing.
like
Make it
clockwork,
150
God,
straight.
he's got
Come on,
himself
I'm gonna
two
show the
queens
bluff.
here.
You're gonna be
This is all
pissed.
in.
You're gonna be pissed when I show the bluff. This game is too easy. Too easy.
I regret inviting you to this.
This game's too easy.
Oh, I wish I had.
Oh, let me
Lanny's
take
cards
another
right
drink.
now. Let's see what
This
you
isn't
got
water,
there.
ladies and
Let's
gentlemen.
turn these up.
It is water. He's even
Thank you,
knitting with his
Andy. Turn 'em
drinks.
up.
That is absolutely water.
Oh,
Bellin, what was it?
I'm not going to tell. Give me $5, I'll tell you.
Come on. Come on.
Pocket queens.
you made the right move.
Yeah, come on. You know what it is. Listen, if I bet I got it, guys.
Irv is legit.
If I bet I got it.
I
okay?
believe him. We need to take another break, and unlike the character Michael Cera plays in the movie, Poker Night Live is brought to you by a trusted friend, Kimosabi Mezcal. We'll be back after these words.
Good. That was funny.
Poker Night Live is brought to you by our trusted friend, Kimosabi Mezcal. Why settle for tequila? Step up to Kimosabi.
I was sort of one of the founding members of this game. There were a couple of sort of cool actor guys who had been playing, and we sort of merged games. And it was a home game that was played between my house and somebody else's house, and then that kind of got moved to the Viper Room. It makes me sound incredibly shallow at how happy and fun it was, because it really was awesome. For that moment in time of poker, Molly's Game was as much fun as you could have while still sort of like doing something that seemed semi-respectable. I mean, poker had just come out of the closet. There was poker on TV, so it was no longer shrouded in with this, covered in this patina of nefarious action. It was sort of fun. I think the camaraderie was really the best part about it. It was just, I was in my 30s. It was like all these really fancy, cool kids. It was just as much fun as you could have.
Welcome back to Poker Night Live, Hollywood Home Game, the Molly's Game Gang. I'm your host, Joe Stapleton. Our commentator is Jesse Abramowitz. Jesse, say something about Andy Bellin's book, Poker Nation.
The book is like the perfect width, and everything is spelled correctly.
He could be crushing that book right now.
Yeah, we can't hear anything Jesse says, but I know for a fact a few hours ago he said even years later, Andy's book holds up as a great introduction to the poker scene.
Is that true? I'm not sure.
He did say that. I don't know what he said just then, but I know that earlier he was
said
incredibly.
fewer words than you just said.
No, but listen, you cannot undersell Bayin. This guy is like the connection to so many poker players that we all are connected. Is this
true?
East Coast, West Coast. Yep.
East Coast, West Coast. This isn't a joke. I'm being dead serious. Like, he's the connection with so many different people and brings them together.
I know you're not supposed to judge a book by its cover.
Hey, look at that.
Yeah, but really that's all we can show you.
I did.
That's the one.
Yeah.
So Andy, if you were gonna write a follow-up, what's happened
nice
since
question.
you wrote that one?
Good question.
What stories would you include? Can you give us one that you would just have to put in there?
One poker story that I have to include. I think there are like 700, but the
Do it.
one that I was just thinking about was the moment that I realized that like the game might have gotten too big for me, because when I first started playing in the game, I was the only guy who'd played probably a million hands, and everybody out here was just learning the game, and I had a substantial advantage, at least it seemed that way.
What is it, 25?
But when everybody started catching up to me, it was when the first 30 games of Molly's Game, I had won, I think, 29 of them. And then there was a moment when I realized that everybody had sort of surpassed me, because the first time we were up at somebody's house, I was talking about the notion of pot odds, and everybody was kind of like, What? What are you talking about?
You have to do math?
And I had everybody sitting around me like I was like
you were a scientist.
Like I was a camp counselor.
You were an astrophysicist.
Like I was
more like a wizard.
Which he was.
Right. I failed astrophysicist, as my father would say. I was sitting there like a camp counselor teaching a bunk full of teenage boys of like.
Tell us more.
The legend of the clitoris or something.
The legend of the clitoris. That's a body part. Nothing wrong with that. Better not get bleeped for that. There's just the name of a body part.
Can I say that?
I don't see why not.
So, like, my first huge loss at Molly's game was at the Viper Room, and I'd like taken 2 bad beats, and then I got in a huge hand. I'd bought it in for $30,000. I'd never lost $10,000 in my life, and it was head up with Kevin Washington, and I flopped top set, and he flopped some like gut shot with a backdoor straight draw or something. I move all in, and he snap calls, and he turns over absolute garbage, and I'm like, this is amazing. And then, Manny's sitting in the box about to deal, and K-Wash, being K-Wash, is so excited. He's grabbing me. He's like, dude, this is awesome. I'm like, let's run it like 30 times. And he's like, no, it's more fun if we just run it out. I'm like, no.
He crushed your soul. I know what's coming.
Turn the magic card, and I'm just sitting there.
75.
And then all in. And
speaking of running it 30 times, I love it.
There we go.
Ooh,
what?
This is bad.
I'm down to run it 30 times if you want.
I have a decision here.
Oh, that's
Good
right.
stories and good action. Silver ace king suited puts in the 3-bet stakes with 2 queens. Is going to shove for 585.
Well, Joe the Pro, because this is your show and we're on TV, I'm going to give you a bad call.
You're good? Oh, I thought you were going to fold and give me a guaranteed win.
I call you.
No. How's that a bad call?
Yeah, I mean.
By the way, the year I come 46 in the main event, I've
get
got
my money out.
Philip Helm's got ace king and 11% of all the chips in the room. Those lose.
Those lose.
Hold on. Okay, no diamond either. Okay, I think I'm good here.
Flops. Silver nearly dead, drawing to a chop or Broadway.
10 of diamonds, and you're going to chop it with a 6 of diamonds on the river. Oh,
I think he's good.
Pretty good.
I think you're good.
We got a high hand.
I think he's good.
If a 5th queen comes out, it's a chop.
How much?
We got a high hand over here, guys.
See the white
I think he's good.
Is this my TV show or what?
I didn't see those.
You're supposed to make that call anyway. On
Yes,
TV.
that's not a. It's 590.
Somewhere around there.
Just quads for our host.
You got to make that call.
Nice hand.
Money already in the pot.
Would they ever do PLO on TV, or is it too hard for people?
PLO is tough to follow for people to follow, and also it's the graphics system that's required
on
for PLO
TV.
is a little more complicated.
Are
They
you
do
having
have
trouble
it.
with the
Overnight in America, by the way, they do have it.
Have you ever touched
Also, what do I
the
owe you?
Software. But yeah, it's just audiences have a harder time.
Yeah, it's for poker players.
Yeah,
But it's a lot more action.
3,
totally.
4.
Reagan's never held red chips before, so this is a whole new experience for him. If these were
I was
flags, he
coming
would know what to
after
do.
Irv on that one, 510.
I was giving you a call with my Jack 4 suited.
Good, at least I'm not the only
So I
one
made
who's
a
gone to
mistake.
the
I had you
Re-raising.
crushed. I had you crushed.
Okay, rebuy.
I love it. I'm not the only one anymore.
This is a lose-lose
I'd
because I either
actually
lose
like
the. I
to do
don't like
500
beating.
You just doubled up.
Can I do 500
Does cash
more?
play?
Someone will bring you chips. You can put it on the table though.
Okay.
Let's
Make that happen.
Thank you.
Tiffany, can we
I
get
would like
500
to
more
double
over
up.
here?
You can
So
play white
Reagan
chips for
Silber
sure.
is going to add on $500.
Nice.
Can we get chips?
I want white chips.
Gonna have to earn them.
No, we're good. We don't need chips. We're okay.
Are you sure?
No, we do.
No, he needs chips.
What do you want?
I want 500 more.
Oh, you want to add? Yeah.
He's trying to crush your soul.
I'm trying
No,
to
he
go out-
wants 5 more
500
whites.
more.
You want to put in $500 more cash?
Yeah, he wants to have
So
you
we do
covered.
need chips. Excuse me, everybody.
He wants to have you
Put it on the table.
Ooh, Reagan is tilting. I'm going to do a little
Yeah.
straddle.
I am not untiltable.
There you go, tilting and
Five.
a little tilted.
Reagan Silber.
I'll straddle for 10.
All right. I wanted to talk a little bit about.
We got 45
Okay.
minutes.
All right.
A lot can happen.
This would make me so
Hold that.
We're going to have to throw a benefit for you.
Call. I'll call. I will call.
I will call also. I love it.
Get it in there, Manny.
Yeah, what in the world could you fold, Manny?
9 deuce.
Let's go.
This is going to be an exciting hand. I'm predicting it.
The guy that took all the chips is not playing, though.
That's yeah, well,
Pro.
He's locking them up.
I flip with the best of them.
Well, 2 of our players have flopped a diamond draw, so may in fact
I
be some
promise
action
not
here.
to lock it down. I just want it to be a good TV show.
I'm not at my quota.
30.
I am not at my quota.
I cannot win. I surrender. Oh, Reagan is full tilt. I love it.
Full on tilt, especially.
If this keeps going, you're going to win like a G5 from Reagan. This is going to be awesome.
Right?
15 hunch.
You're going to fly home in an F-15 Tomcat.
So it looks like he goes check on the turn.
Check.
Silber was ahead with the pair of sevens, and now the queen is going to take it from Moonves. Both players missing their flush draw.
Ooh,
Good
glad
read.
diamond didn't come.
But you had the Russian nuts there.
Yeah.
You did.
7 high.
7 high.
That definitely was a Russian knife.
Good read from Jon Moonves. Speaking of reading, did you guys know that Tiffany Michelle, unlike me, does not read off a teleprompter? Tiffany, what have you memorized about this upcoming week?
Well, how's this, Joe? We have 2 more weeks of the Gardens Poker Night Celebrity and High Stakes live stream. You can tune in at twitch.tv/PokerNightTV Thursday and Friday live at 5 Pacific as I host. And if you can't wait until then, GardensPokerNight.com has all of our game replays. We'll be back with more of the Molly's Game madness right after this.
How would you like to play against the pros on national TV? Download now to play and win. It's absolutely free to play.
Welcome back to the Gardens Casino and Poker Night Live with a table full of the legendary Molly's Game high-stakes players from both Los Angeles and New York, along with your host whose only connection to this elite poker club is that he's seen the movie, Joe Stapleton.
That's not really fair. I saw the movie, and I saw it legally, and it wasn't even on a plane this time. And I also read the book. Well, I listened to it on tape, most of it. But yes, the book and the movie. So... Thanks, Tiffany. I folded a while ago. What's happening here?
I'm thinking. I mean, how much do I owe? It's 100?
50 more. No, 55, sorry.
Coming back to a weird hand here.
Sorry,
It looks
I
like
owe 100.
Moonves has put in a 3-bet on the flop with just King 4 on this board, and Bellin has him drawing.
Yeah, it is an interesting hand.
I don't
Nothing,
have much,
basically.
so take it easy.
Much money or much
short.
more of a hand?
I think they both have sevens.
Let's see how good Irv's reads are.
I'm not.
75.
Still firing.
75.
Whoa.
We have a pot, ladies and gentlemen. We have a pot. Let's see the river, shall we?
Interesting bet sizing. Does go bet and call.
That's it. That's the card everyone was waiting for.
Computer hand.
Do we say what his was?
You've read a poker book or two.
I'm told you.
Moonves gives up essentially, and now Bellin deciding, can he get called by anything if he bets? Did Moonves
Look, if
actually
you've
have
had
a
longer than a
7?
5-minute conversation with Phil Ivey, that puts you in the most elite of poker people.
2 pair.
You lose.
Everyone's got 2 pair. Oh, that's 3-7.
I knew he had a 7. Except setting himself on fire.
How could you?
Nice check at the
I
end.
put him on A7. Like, in my old age, I've become a catastrophist. I don't know. What's he doing?
That is. Oh, I was just.
I like announced.
Moving all in.
I announced I had a 7 there, and he's still
No, you
firing.
did not.
I raised you.
Irv said he had a 7. But he also said you had one, so I don't know.
Bellin straddles. Can I straddle also?
Yes.
No, we can only handle one straddle for the graphic system.
I love that Reagan is tilted.
Break everything.
This is awesome.
Irv, this is not right.
This
Now
is
they're
awesome.
limiting what we can do here.
You can blind raise.
Okay.
No, don't do that.
Can I blind re-raise if you?
That's fine.
Donkeys.
Well, instead of straddling, it looks like we're going to have a straddle to 10, a blind raise to 20, and a blind raise to 30.
Oh, God, all right.
So actually, we'll start on Jon Moonves here.
Just get crazy. Just get crazy.
You guys, I have one more episode left.
Remember,
for the
the
show for the
2
season, and this is the
jacks
last
here of
one until
Lopez are going to be last to act.
We'll keep that in mind.
If the action doesn't close, of course.
Sure. Because he re-raised you, right?
Yeah. This is live.
It's not live.
Manny is live.
This is live.
Andy's live. Andy's live.
He said his was a blind raise.
He's live because he's
a blind raise.
At the end, this is the live one.
Right.
He's got a call.
It's not live if it's called to him.
You're not live because that's a blind call. That wasn't a
It's a
strap.
blind race. That's right.
It's a blind raise.
live.
You're not live.
He's live now.
He's live.
You make it.
I called.
The only live hand is the actual straddler.
Me too. I thought he was
I get to see a flop for this amount.
For sure, someone was gonna
Who's a
hammer.
blind race?
Let's give Irv his cards back. Come on.
I actually, I better don't flop it.
He didn't
Not
mean it.
flop
Don't react. Don't react. Check.
King 8 king, stapes, flops, trips.
You're supposed to react.
Call.
Smooth call, man.
Bellin leads sevens.
like that, bro.
Obviously, Lopez is going to call behind here with 2 jacks.
You too like to live dangerously?
Oh my
God, the pro?
I too. Allow myself to introduce myself.
That's at least, that's ace king minimum.
I do like that
Joe's
Stapes
my
is just
Joe
calling
the
here.
pro.
Just messing around. I don't know.
Feels like pocket
I mean,
I check.
all right.
What about?
Oh, Manny, come
Free
on.
cards with Manny. Are you kidding me?
Throwing cards
Are
at
you
you
kidding me?
Good news for
Free
Stapes
cards.
because he can never fold his king
Free
here.
cards with Manny. You got position?
I check.
So it looks like Manny is not.
A king.
Never mind. He
A king. That's what I was trying to say.
did check back. For a second, I thought he was going to go for some value that he didn't have,
That
but
is a strong hand to it.
Joe's going to take this one down with 3
You are a pro.
kings, and now
It's really
turn things
I'm
around, so
Really
it's
doing a
making
great
quads.
job flopping trips and quads. I'm really bringing out all the skill
Now I can straddle.
that I've learned over the years. Yes, now you can straddle.
This guy's a pro.
We knew it all along.
Knew it
or-
all along. We knew it
We've
all
got tells
along.
on guys like you. In New York.
It was
At Murder
Barzini.
Inc.
It was Barzini all along.
No, it's Natalia. No.
What does that mean, Barzini?
It was Barzini
Godfather.
all along. What? Did you just say, what does that mean?
What? Sorry.
You've never seen Godfather?
I've seen The Godfather. I just don't remember every word from it.
Well, then what is wrong with you?
Then what is wrong with you? Exactly.
What the? I mean, come on, man.
Come on. It was Barzini all along.
I know
Tatalia's
Zatalia
a
was
pimp?
the pimp.
Yeah, you never could have outfound.
You could have
Santino.
never afforded Santino. Never. It was Barzini.
I'm more of a fan of The Freshman. That's kind of more my rando speed.
Stop it. Take it back.
It's that.
I'm more of an Island of Dr. Moreau guy.
Stop it. Stop it.
Let's raise.
Dude, that's a huge hand. Whatever.
Make it 60 all day. 60 all day.
So with the straddle on, it looks like Gotti's made it 60. Let's see who
Can't do it.
calls behind Bellin.
just setting
Loose
mine.
call here, Queen 4.
Set mine.
Manny's going to call with Jack 10, and Moonves will probably call as well, so we'll go 4-handed to the flop.
Been playing long enough when Manny's not
Irv,
folding.
I'm going to raise you right as soon as you fire.
You got to
I'm
read
gonna
up
raise
Manny
you.
already.
He's not folding. He's been playing long enough. He's like, yo, I'm in. You flop the set?
Close.
Close isn't good.
Okay.
Let's fire. 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 135.
Call.
Whoa.
135 with top
Call
pair.
right away?
Snap call from
I
the
tried
flush
to eat
draw.
you into the pot.
No hard.
Bellin. Pot up
No
to
heart.
I don't want a heart
520.
either. I don't want a heart either. I got a big ace. You don't have an ace. You know what I'm putting you on? Kings. I think you're dead already.
You could have 2-paired with that.
Maybe.
But I'm gonna bet 300. That's what I'm gonna
you
do.
really?
Yeah, yes,
Wow.
really. I'm gonna bet $300. I'm committed too. So if you want to if you want to raise or anything, it's a call. I'm telling you now. And that's verbal declarations is binding.
Would
When I
this fly in your game, Manny?
and
Would you
when
let
I
this fly?
show this
That is
bluff,
fine, yeah.
when I
That's
show this
typical.
bluff, it's gonna shake
Yeah.
the
Do me a favor. Go
whole.
like this for a second.
Are we going viral
shot.
finally,
No
please?
shot. No shot.
I'm going to take your pulse.
Look at. You know this guy's a pro.
All right, I fold.
You want to show? Are we going to get to see it?
Come on, he knows I got it.
He knows you got it.
He knows I
You did, in
got
fact,
it.
got it.
He knows I.
You priced me right out of the heart draw right there.
You guys, I
Probably would have hit. I was more than happy to take the pot down.
don't blame
Because you know why?
Oh, I forgot to tip after my last one. Here you go.
I
Thank
think
you.
that's my first white chip.
I actually, guys, I have to take us to a break, guys. I actually say the following.
What is it to break every 5 minutes?
I know it's television. That's how we almost pay for the show. I say the following line so often, I'm afraid it'll become my poker nickname, but we have to take another break. Back after this.
Welcome back to the Gardens Casino and Poker Night Live with the real players from Molly's Game. And now I have the honor of announcing our final contest winner, Gerald Heckathorn from Madison, Wisconsin. You have won an all-expense paid trip to here in Los Angeles to play on our season finale, June 19th Poker Night Live game. Congratulations. And now let's get back to our host, Joe Stapleton.
Thank you, Tiffany Michelle. Congrats, Gerald. And let me assure everyone out there that the next week's show, unlike this one, is not going to be based on the book Gerald's Game. That joke would have been not even good if I had not tripped over it. That's what I'm really upset about right now. I fold.
I call.
I'll raise. I haven't been doing that. Dude, you are so tilted.
It's late. We're going to re-raise.
I love it.
45.
I got to remember, I got 2 tilters behind
It's
me.
because Reagan knows he could be winning some Michael Bay money.
Oh, we're going there. Andy Bellin, hardest working man in Hollywood.
Are you writing a screenplay for Michael Bay?
I am. I'm surprised that that's like common knowledge.
He's
but-
my uncle.
Okay, well then that explains it.
I was calling him.
I am. I'm adapting a book called Drone Warrior by a great Delta operator kid named Brett Velikovich, who couldn't be a cooler guy. It's a great project, and it's one of like 9 that I have that's falling apart all over town.
This one is not falling apart.
So far, but you know, I can do anything.
But he's been in Hollywood a long time.
Yeah,
Yes.
it'll fall apart at some point.
50.
I feel like if you're available next season, I won't be hired back as writer for Poker Night Live, so please don't let them all
don't all fall apart.
Fall apart, yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Just
working
stay
on it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to detonate everything. I have a pair of 5s. Is that any good?
It might be, yo.
5s in your hand?
No, I wish.
That would have been a great fold if you did.
5s is good.
5s were good right now.
I'm telling you.
So Reagan gets outflopped by both of the other aces, but the power of aggression apparent there as he takes it down with the continuation bet.
Can you stop telling me to call? Straddle, for the love of God.
I will straddle for $10.
Great.
Did you guys get that? Irv straddling for $10? Did we get
I
it?
will straddle for $10. Thank you.
You have so locked up a win. It's hysterical.
Yo, I'm at quota.
He folded on us that time.
I know.
Yo, and I flopped 2 pairs.
See, you should play every hand.
I
Make
flopped
a
top
commitment.
2.
Play every hand on the way
I flopped top 2, man.
See, Irv can straddle fold still for the rest of the game and lock up a win. When you straddle, you look like you're still being an action player, but really it's
Joe, that's only
I
only a pro would
mastered the
know.
art.
Yeah, in reality, like Irv is already home, like, you know,
He's
taking
in
a
New York.
shower. He's on the
He's
plane
working
already.
on his new show. Back in the green room there, they're calling, buying his shows.
This guy's not here right now. Look, this
Yeah,
guy,
where
he's gone.
did Irv
He's been
leave?
gone.
Actually, you know what? I got to that thing off your, about the movie off your Wikipedia page, but
Andy was working on that all day.
Reagan, you don't have one. How powerful of a guy do you have to be before you can wipe your Wikipedia page?
You don't have a Wikipedia.
He's a real estate magnate.
That's awesome.
I think I missed the technology stage.
Like, no, but it's just bizarre. Like, I have one. I mean, I didn't make it, but there's one for me.
I don't think I
think
made mine either.
it must be weird.
I didn't make
I
mine.
have tried to
Right.
explain
No, but
to
you got
my
arrested and
daughter
stuff.
that you want nothing online, you want no social media.
Well, I'm impressed.
It's a virus. It's terrible. All of that stuff. We have lost privacy, civility, humility.
I don't disagree with you.
I agree with you. How's Metten, man?
Metten is
But I don't know about
Dude,
how they're
You
going
and Metten at a game is
Wikipedia.
priceless.
He is.
I just picture you sitting behind like a giant oak desk being like, get rid of it.
But I'm
No,
never in New York.
No, I wish.
He's in Vegas right now. But next
not-
time you're in town, we
Anyway.
play Sunday nights at my house.
I'm in.
Hank's house.
I'm totally in if I'm in town.
Metten, Raves plays sometimes. Metten is the game. And
Which Hank is this?
I'm not going to say.
Okay.
I don't
Because
say.
I played at Hank Azaria's home game before,
You
and
have?
I really upset him when I brought up implied odds one time because I did it in a really smarmy way, and he like called me implied odds for the rest of the day.
And I was like, oh man, that was my first time at Hank Azaria's house. Why did I make Hank mad? Why did I do this?
Yo, Hank thinks of great nicknames for players, man.
He was.
He's thought of a few.
It was one of the best days of my life. He was not. I totally deserved every.
I don't know if he played at Molly's game, but I played with him, and that guy's a gentleman.
Oh, he's the best guy.
He's the best guy in the world.
He played once. He is a great guy.
He's the
best guy in the world.
At my 50th birthday, my birthday party, which I have not yet turned 50, but I'm very soon to be, my wife made a toast that was absolutely beautiful. But at one point, she and my son Lucky was there, my son George was there, and she mentioned that early in our courtship, we had some bonding over like watching Law and Order or something, which was kind of humiliating. And I literally said, I was like, honey, our friends can hear you saying this story. And Hank started calling me Dick Wolf. And it's kind of stuck, which is kind of funny.
Actually, you know what? My nickname that somebody gave me came from his game also. There was a guy, and I wish I remember his name, I'm so sorry, but he said that he tried to go for a while by the nickname Uncle Daddy. And I told this story on like one of my poker broadcasts, and I've been called Uncle Daddy ever since then. And I feel like I kind of stole it, but also it's like an homage, like Indiana Jones's hat.
Can we go back to the fact that you know what implied odds are, and this is your first time to play?
He's a pro, man.
I mean, Irv.
I'm a commentator.
Look at his stats.
I'm so. Is that actually on me? I checked. Sorry, I
Look at
checked.
his
You're
stats.
doing a Chris Moneymaker.
This guy's a pro. Check.
How often do you set these guys up for these games like this,
Once
and
a
then
week
have
for the
Elsa
last
just
12
deal
weeks.
you quads?
Metten has a new nickname, which is we were giving everybody a nickname.
And just at the right moment, Stapes does river the best hand.
The Red Viper.
I have a 7. I'm sorry. I have a 7.
He ended up with the soft biscuit of Ankara. That's his nickname.
I was going to ask you guys about nicknames. These are good. The soft biscuit of Ankara.
Hank Azaria.
Maybe the best nickname ever.
Hank gave one of our friends, Steve Kingsley, who's like a serious player, he called him El Guapo, which I have no idea why he said El Guapo. But he said, you know, Hank is a character guy. She says El Guapo. He never shows. But if he shows, you no lie.
Little side story.
If he shows, you no
Guapo
lie.
is an accountant. Happens to be my wife's accountant for her business.
Wait, El Guapo is a real guy?
That's what the ad says on the side of the bus.
Hank knows El Guapo.
Steve Kingsley is, yeah.
Kingsley is the accountant.
Yeah.
You're talking about Kingsley.
And my wife calls him Guapo.
Stop it.
She's like, my accountant, El Guapo. I'm like, honey, that's not his real name.
El Guapo never shows, but if he shows, you no lie.
Manny, did you have nicknames for the players that maybe they didn't know about?
Good question.
I was your favorite.
No.
I was your favorite. I was your favorite player, though.
You and by the way, John right here were my calmest players. You guys.
You were the ones he was least afraid of.
Irv sometimes, and you know, we get a little louder or whatever, but that was about it. But the rest of you guys, including Reagan, very calm, never said anything, win or lost a hand, never said anything bad. So that was on my side of the table. That's the greatest thing. Right. You know?
Manny, did you feel at any point, something bad's gonna happen?
Oh yeah.
You did.
A few times, for sure.
And it happened.
More than a few times, for sure.
But
yeah.
bad meaning what? Like they're
bad, like
bad
something
with you?
like crazy, like crazy, like someone is gonna get hurt.
Like an unknown unknown.
I think I
They say, like,
Yeah.
I don't know what's gonna go wrong.
Exactly, but something is gonna go bad. Yeah.
So Moonves will take that
I have
down
that
with
feeling right now.
top pair.
Andy, just keep your cool.
No, I'm gonna flip.
For those watching at home, and see, this is why you don't gamble, because the best player is losing all the money.
Yes. Dude,
this is why
This is the best player. I was the best player in like 1987, okay? Like when Clinton was in
Wasted
office.
youth?
Oh, God, yes, my misspent youth. The game has so passed me by. I'm like one of those tennis players who has like a really flat forehand.
Like a
no
wooden
top.
racket.
Yes. That's like
But
I
you
look
still
rather
do
elegant.
well. You still do well against old ladies. I mean, that's really.
No, they kick my ass.
That's okay. That's fine. You're all right. On that note, though, we are going to take a break. Still plenty more poker left to be played. Poker Night Live. We'll be back right after this.
Welcome back to the Gardens Casino and Poker Night Live with the real-life players from Molly's game who are having so much fun that they've talked nonstop. You guys, I'm still very shocked that Michael Cera was so rude to Molly. You'd think he wouldn't have even been old enough to play in Molly's game. Crazy. He played himself, right?
Yes.
What did you
Meanwhile,
think?
Raised to Poker Nation.
No, there we go.
raised to Joe the Pro.
Sorry.
Pro.
What do you guys think of the character that Michael Cera played? You don't have to say about anything real. Well, how did you like him in the role?
He was an asshole.
That's good. That's one word for it.
That's it.
No one will hear anything that's been said after that.
And that may have been caught by the censor, so don't adjust
we can act like we've
your
all
set.
said something.
Exactly.
And that's it. I forgot that I really wasn't going to ask that question.
What did you say?
There's a so it's TV rules. The whole makes the whole thing.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
Who knew?
Yeah.
Thought it flew. I thought it was good.
No.
Do you guys know that we're still paying Tobey Maguire to use the shuffle machine here in this game? Just kidding. We've got Elsa. We have to pay Toby $2 an hour for her.
Call that obvious straddle bluff.
You guys see how it got real quiet?
Call.
Probably just ruined my career for a joke no one's gonna see.
The calls here.
I have to call.
5 ways now.
Oh.
And the option will check. So family pot. Here we go.
Consider, yeah. Everybody's in.
Elsa, gotta be
All
honest,
right.
gonna need some help here.
I've done really well so far in these situations. Check.
Check.
All right.
I'll make a little bet.
Little.
Yeah, $40.
That's 40.
40 ought to do it, because no one really has anything here.
I cannot call.
I can peel one off.
Nope.
I haven't gone bust yet, which is amazing.
There's still time for both of us.
I will.
Well,
I check.
looks like Bellin has in fact defended bottom pair, which is now trips. And just like that, running cards for a boat. Let's see what number Bellin will come up with.
$50.
50 and a snap call.
Ooh.
That's all?
That's it.
I think I'm gonna lose.
You have worse than a full house.
What'd you have?
He does.
I had pocket sevens. I had one pair. That was what we call a hero
Good
call. That does not work.
Good
You had
old
2 pair.
3 king.
The old 3 king. I didn't see that. I have to be honest.
I straddled. Nobody raised.
You guys play with Spider-Man, Batman, Hero Call makes sense. That's fitting with all of the other things.
No.
You played
By
with-
the way, for what it's worth, 2 great poker players.
Yeah.
Yes.
Great poker
I remember,
players.
so
Adam West.
before
Great.
this whole thing came to light, you know, your whole story, I remember a professional poker player tell me one day that Tobey Maguire is believed to be the winningest poker player of all time, of professional or otherwise, cash-wise.
God doesn't
I will say that's a true fact. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure.
Which is
the guy is a machine.
Well, you heard it here.
His spidey senses tingled.
Yeah.
Did you straddle?
I did.
Irving, don't limp.
I will call.
Raise 25, 30.
Punish. Let's get him, Manny.
Dude,
Let's
With a $50 ante.
Ace queen, ace queen minimum.
Next hand, $50 ante.
In.
Call.
We're
I
getting
have
towards
to
the
check.
end. Got
I'll check.
My hand is so bad.
goose it.
Check.
I still have to check.
Action checks through. Ace-5 still good. Some other draws come
You're a good
in.
player. You don't have any of that.
I'm a good player.
Yeah, you don't have any of that stuff.
Get him, Manny.
Jesus.
Didn't I raise?
Manny suspecting that this delayed
man.
c-bet doesn't
How much
really
is it?
coordinate
40?
with this flop, and Ace-5 could be good to just call off or to raise or to
This is on TV, man.
figure something out here.
Get crazy. Everybody's doing it.
I'm used to being a commentator where I could talk about Manny's body language right now, but I can't here at the table.
That's right. You've got to rely on me for that.
Oh, that's
Spades come in.
I was gonna say, so
You win. How did you call that?
He had a gut shot and a flush draw.
That's a crazy.
It was a horrible call, but you're a good.
And I may have misread his
can't
hand
hear
for a
you.
second, but he does
Hero
get there.
call
Manny does.
Yeah,
I don't even know.
That's how it's supposed to work.
I know you're a dealer.
I think you're right, Reagan. I think
Way to go, man.
that is a true hero call because
the dealer beats the author.
Listen, the guy's a dealer. Don't think
That was an
about
amazing call in the turn.
his
That was
mind
nuts.
works differently. His mind works differently.
We're really bad. We're horrible
He's
players.
justifying his
We're horrible
call, and you're
players.
like,
That was
what?
awesome. That was an amazing call.
I think that truly was a hero call because he not only was it brave, but he saved you. He saved you like $95.
Exactly right.
I was going to bet 75 easy.
Yeah.
I would have called.
I know, you said it.
That's the most heroic call I've ever seen.
I bet $5.
How is A-Rod as a poker player? Oh, here we go. Let's Manny.
Yeah,
Manny
Manny.
answer that. If he's not friends with him, maybe he'll be commercial.
He's not a very good poker player. No, he's
Wait a second. Hold on. Let's sugarcoat it.
No, wait a minute. No, what I meant to say, he did it for fun. He just wanted to have fun. He's not a poker player. He just wanted to have fun. That was
Like, what do you do for thrills when you make $1 billion a year?
I don't know. Ask
Fitty. Yeah.
You play 5-5.
Play 5-5.
You got a loose call?
Loose call. One time. See what happens. We don't have much time left. We got to go to dinner after this.
Yeah, I should get felted quickly.
I do remember this one time we were playing at Cody Leibel's house.
Love me some Cody.
And Everett was on my left, right, seat one, right on my left-hand side. And we're playing they were playing 100, 200 blinds, $10,000 buy-in. Before the flop, the auction comes to him. Somebody made it probably like $1,000, and he sat there looking at ace king for the longest time, and asked me, "Manny, what do you think about this?"
As a dealer?
I said, "Yeah, I was dealing. Obviously, he was sitting there." And
$40.
as he's asking me this, it comes up on the news
give
on
it back to
TV.
you.
He's the highest baseball player in history, right? And everybody's kind of laughing, talking about laughing at that he's asking, should I call $1,000 or $2,000?
I knew
he's the highest,
what you were doing.
biggest paid player, yeah.
But look, he was ahead of his time because now every poker player tanks for like 20 minutes with making the simplest of decisions also.
Sure.
So
there's a guy in my home game who does that named Ed Mancini.
I would kick
Fold
him
your
out.
hand, Ed. Every time. Have you played with Mancini? Handsy Mancini, we like to call him. Every hand is 45 minutes.
sometimes it's such a problem in tournaments that a tournament director will stand there and after the guy takes for a while, will look at his cards and be like, that wasn't a decision, you're penalized.
Yes, I'm going to do that from now on with Ed.
I'm not even going to play the game, I'm just going to look at your cards and tell you that you've been taking too long. Okay, we got a little limp action here, okay.
It should be like golf. You know, they can tell you gotta play quicker. Otherwise, we're gonna take away your.
Wow, Gotti just
Well, there's a
calls with
the
his
time
king here
banks
after Stapes races over the Moonves limp.
It's important. Plus, Moonves said we're gonna all ante 50.
All right, guys, we got to take one last break, but don't go anywhere. When we get back, lots more stuff. Welcome back, my babies, to Poker Night Live. Thank you so much to our guests. I had a joke there, but we're out of time. Next week, it's our season finale, and it's going to be nuts. Our good friend and the creator of Celebrity Poker Showdown, Josh Molina, has wrangled a few of the players from his home game, and he's bringing them here to the Gardens. Who's that, you ask? Well, other than the amazing Josh Molina, it's television star John Hamm and movie star, rapper Hoodie Allen, and the writer-director who's been a huge idol to me, David Wayne, will be here, and of course, our contest winner, Gerald Heckathorn. That's it. Until next time, for Tiffany Michelle, Jesse Abramowitz, and everyone at Poker Night Live, I am Joe Stapleton saying good night, my babies.
Hello.